When you look back at 2025, it was a pretty wild year. Humanity was just solving problems at an incredible rate. From our homes to our health, progress felt absolutely unstoppable. But here's the twist. At the exact same moment, the systems that were designed to protect all that progress were quietly starting to crumble. So today, we're going to explore the central paradox of 2025, a year of truly brilliant solutions and, at the same time, catastrophic risks.
So let's start small. I'm talking about the ground floor, with those clever, everyday innovations that you can really feel, the ones that just made life a little bit easier.
So Popular Science, they highlighted some absolutely fantastic solutions to those little things that can drive you crazy. Okay, so take the Stihl RMA 448V lawnmower. It's got this single-post handle that makes it incredibly simple to empty the grass bag and then store it flat against a wall. Game changer. And then there's Whirlpool's spin-and-load rack, which rotates a full 360 degrees so you can reach every single dish without that awkward, clumsy lean into the machine. We've all been there. Even things like Jackery's solar roof tiles that just blend in seamlessly, looking like regular shingles while generating power. So smart.
And that right there, that gets to a key theme of the whole year. As the magazine put it, these innovations address seemingly small hurdles that can make a big difference. It was really a year of problem solving at every single scale.
But this spirit, this ingenuity, it wasn't just about our homes. Oh no, it was also happening on a massive, world-changing scale, taking on some of humanity's biggest, toughest challenges.
And if you want to see where this inventive spirit really exploded, you've got to look at the world of biotechnology. The pace of progress in 2025, it was just breathtaking.
2025 was a truly landmark year for biotech. You had CRISPR gene editing technology moving firmly from the lab into actual clinical applications. The FDA approved Zavaskin, a gene therapy for a really rare and painful skin disorder. Artificial intelligence was literally turbocharging drug discovery, and we saw these major advances in creating climate-resilient crops and scaling up alternative proteins.
And what did all this mean? This wave of innovation meant that scientists could finally start treating what we used to call the untreatable, taking aim at conditions once thought to be completely beyond hope.
And believe me, the victories just kept coming. Boom, boom, boom. We saw the first trials for a lung cancer vaccine. A new gene therapy slowed the progression of Huntington's disease by an incredible 75%, and a new injectable drug, lenacapavir, offered almost perfect protection against HIV, and it reached Africa in the same year it was approved in the US, which, by the way, was a first for equitable access.
And you know what? This incredible progress, it wasn't just about human health. In 2025, we started to see some genuinely hopeful signs for the health of our planet, too.
Okay, get this. The green sea turtle, which was once near extinction, was reclassified as a species of least concern. That is a massive conservation success story. The world ratified the first-ever treaty to protect the high seas. Deforestation rates continued to slow down in every single region, and French Polynesia created the world's largest marine protected area. Just amazing news all around. And maybe, just maybe, the biggest milestone of all, in the first half of 2025, for the first time in history, renewable energy became the world's leading source of electricity. It finally knocked coal off its throne. Just think about that. So, yeah, it really felt like a moment of peak optimism, right? We're solving problems from our kitchens to our clinics to our climate. Which leads to the big question, with all this incredible progress, what could possibly go wrong?
Well, a lot, as it turns out. Because while we were busy building all these incredible things, the very system designed to protect all of that progress, it was in serious trouble.
This image right here, this shows you the other side of the 2025 story. This is the front line of global health security, where a WHO mobile clinic is serving a community in crisis. It's just a stark reminder that despite all our advanced technology, those fundamental vulnerabilities are still there.
And this is where we get to the great paradox of 2025. At the exact moment of all these amazing breakthroughs, the world was facing what the WHO called an unprecedented convergence of health threats. You had conflict, climate change, and food insecurity all creating this perfect storm. Okay, so to really get the risk here, you need to understand this program, the WHO Health Emergencies Program. It's basically the world's firefighter. Its job is to spot an outbreak when it's just a tiny spark and put it out before it becomes a raging inferno, a global pandemic.
But here's the problem. In 2025, that global firefighter was running out of water.
The program was facing a severe funding crisis, with an immediate, critical shortfall of $105 million.
And look, this shortfall, it's not just some number on a spreadsheet. The real-world consequences of doing nothing, they are absolutely staggering.
So according to the WHO, the annual economic damage from global health emergencies is already up to $1.3 trillion. Yeah, that's trillion with a T. It destabilizes economies and disrupts supply chains everywhere. Okay, now hold that massive number in your head for a second and compare it to what the WHO needed right then to keep the world safe. Just $105 million.
And this is where the stakes become crystal clear. An investment of $105 million sustains the entire global system for threat detection. The alternative is an annual cost of $1.3 trillion, and that's not even mentioning the preventable loss of life. To put it simply, protecting our global health security is one of the highest return investments on the entire planet, period.
So, all of this brings us right back to that central question, to the paradox that really defined the year 2025. You know, the WHO's report just said it perfectly. Now is the time to act, not react, to prepare, not just repair. It's a reminder that all of our incredible scientific and technological progress, it relies on a stable world to even exist.
And that leaves us with one final, and I think crucial question. What good are miraculous cures if we neglect the basic foundations that protect us all? In a world that's accelerating so fast, is progress by itself really enough?